give me just a moment.
I think
Yeah.
it should be interesting to see since they're literally playing the same exact team. Why do you think they didn't try and target pick ban a little more against the team comp they just had? Victor.
I think he might be changing his settings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But-
sorry, I'm trying to get the mic louder. Yeah, I think it's a mistake, honestly. I don't think they have a game plan for it. You would think that if they're going to let the same team go, they'll maybe adapt to it if they lost. They did adapt.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't do anything. But Ashe serves the same role as a Caitlyn in terms of how she wants to play. She wants to poke a little bit, and she wants to stay in the back line. She's not going to be instantly like killing someone real quick, or she's pretty much the same as Caitlyn in that regard. And obviously they still have Ziggs. I do like that they took Exhaust. That's going to be good against the Zed just in laning phase alone. Maybe he can play a little bit more aggressive that way. I guess maybe they're trying to go for win in the laning phase as opposed to just try to go even in the laning phase. So that is an adaptation, but I still think it's a mistake. You need to ban Sejuani. It's not even a choice. You have to ban Sejuani, especially if you're going to run something like Ziggs, like Ashe. I honestly think Kalista is a must ban. Not just because of how strong the champion is, but how good Ranman is on it. I think we saw that last game.
Kyle, there's like a black box in your screen.
Yep, I fixed it. We should be good now.
Okay.
Man, these viewers, so volatile, dude.
So we're spectating off your camera, correct, Kyle?
I should be a little bit louder now, hopefully.
Oh god.
Whoa, a little too loud, bro.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
You're like a lot louder. Kyle, you're controlling the camera, right? Or are you just gonna leave it on directed?
Alright, is it still bad
I'll
now?
mostly
No, it's
leave it
not.
on directed, but
It's
I
fine.
can control it
Okay, this should
when we
be
need
good
to.
now, hopefully.
Okay, I'm
Alright.
gonna top lane.
Perfect.
I'm gonna move the stuff so it looks better. Can see the laners.
I wonder if Udyr's going to go for the steal again. It worked out last game for them. They were able to get a small advantage with the 3-buff start.
Oh, continue, sorry.
Sedge didn't get any important ganks off early on, and that's pretty critical. And they did get early dragon with Nunu, so maybe Udyr can immediately invade the red buff. You'll see Sejuani starting blue side anyway. I don't know if they know that, though. If they do know that, then they can steal the red buff here.
Looks like they're not going to, though. Playing it safe.
If you're gonna pick Udyr, though, you gotta be a bully. You gotta play
Yeah,
like
gotta play like
GG.
Trick, dude.
Yeah, I've actually played against Trick in ranked twice
Oh
in my
my
life.
god. Dude, I played
think
against
he
him
lost
once
both
too.
times.
What?
It wasn't his fault. The first time he was 80 carry and he sucked at it.
Oh
And the
god,
second
that sounds
time-
awful.
Yeah, I think he was playing with his girlfriend or at least a friend of his, and like either he was boosting her, I don't know what was happening, but she sucked. I was on his team and they just got destroyed. The second time I was against him, I was Malphite top and he was Udyr jungle. He got what he wanted,
Yep.
and his team was just so bad. I actually felt sorry for him. The Sion was going AP and feeding, but
Yeah.
Udyr can be really strong. I think if he's playing like a bully, he can duel the Sejuani pretty easily. Doesn't look like he's going for the red invade though.
He's playing it super safe so far. Could be going for a gank. Probably just getting the scuttle crab.
So what we haven't mentioned is with the lane swap, who this benefits.
Holy shit, they're going for dragon.
But Sedge really luckily sees it.
They knew right away.
They do have the numbers. Red side has the numbers. They have 4 people on the bottom side versus just the 3.
Why are
So
they
if there
still
is a
trying
fight-
to do this? They
Yeah,
know
they
that
know they can't do it.
that is.
Maybe they're hoping
Oh
to
my!
bait the
They're
Sejuani.
still going for it, but
Well, Sejuani's forced out by Ziggs, so they do get it here. Like I said, since they have
Wow.
the number advantage, they get it. They can't be stopped. Sejuani can try to steal, but
Yep.
it's not worth first blood. But it gets reset,
Oh man, this could be a disaster. We have 2 top lane just pushing away, and they do get the dragon secured. No steals
Sejuani
this
forces
time.
flash, but not a big deal for her.
They're putting a lot of damage on the T1 top though.
Yeah, what you have to ask is it worth it? I really don't think first dragon is that big a deal. Like, they got it last game. Did it matter? Not really. It's more important in the early gold, and it looks like blue side's actually getting it here. They lose out mid farm there, they lose out bot farm, and then Udir's set back by trying to go for that jungle, and Hecarim's going to be far behind.
I wouldn't say Udyr was set back by that because Sejuani was sitting around waiting
That's true.
to
I
steal
guess in
anyways.
comparison, that's true. I guess the main point is Hecarim is set back.
Yeah, and the fact that the AD carry is going to have significantly more farm, although it looks like it's not a huge gap from that, about 6 CS at the moment.
So, you have to ask why the lane swap happened. My guess is they knew that Kalista and Annie isn't as good against something like Ashe Zyra. Ashe Zyra is a pretty punishing lane. So, and it worked out. They get the top tower. They get early advantage in terms of gold. And they can just swap back at any point they want to.
Yeah, it's definitely looking in green team's favor. Green team. What am I saying? Blue team.
Maybe you're on colorblind mode.
Yeah, I guess so. No, I'm not. Maybe I'm just colorblind. I recently developed it.
I actually really like, I don't know if you've done it before. Oh wow, aggressive
Whoa, they're
stun by
going in!
Annie.
Madison
And they pick
cake
it up.
shot
Well
gets
done.
railed. And
Well, that
they
shows
just
you what a lane swap can do. Hecarim's is so far behind, only level 3.
they are just gonna keep this push going, not stopping for anything.
They'll have to back pretty soon though, they're just getting low on mana on the Annie. Still though,
And Hecarim will be coming back, and he will be pissed off. And yep, they are backing, like you
so
said.
Hecarim versus Shyvana, he's a level behind. He's 10 farm behind. Shyvana's probably going to hit level... Yep, Shyvana just hit level 5, so once they swap back, if they do, Shyvana's just going to be running all over that Hecarim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Hecarim. He's just not gonna be able to do a whole lot for a while here.
The one important thing though is, since they took top tower, if Shyvana wants to lane top, she has to go all the way to like secondary tower, which is pretty far out. So she could
Although,
get ganked.
I mean, it's Shyvana, so she has her ult
Yeah,
to
you're right.
escape, but it's not.
She doesn't have
Not
flash,
necessarily
but you're
ideal.
right. She can always just get away. So it's going to be a little harder for her to bully the Hecarim because she's so far pushed.
And it will probably be hard to gank with Hecarim being so out-leveled and out-CS'd, but he is quickly catching up on the CS front at least.
What he should be doing... Oh, he saw Shyvana bot, so that's smart to be pushing it. It'll force Shyvana to have to teleport top here. But after that's done, he should try to freeze top around his tower. That way Shyvana is forced to either go super far and extend, or just not farm top lane, which will equalize that disadvantage he's in.
Definitely. Definitely.
But since he doesn't push it all the way top, he just pushes a little bit and then goes to take double golems, Shyvana gets all of this farm. If he had pushed it a little bit further, the tower would have taken about 3 or 4 of those minions. So maybe not ideal lane swap and minion control. Shyvana should hit level 6
That
off
would have
this.
been risky, though, for him if he chose to do that, because he doesn't
didn't
have his
know
ult
where-
yet, and he doesn't have flash. So
Yeah, I
he
guess that's fair.
had no escape if they chose to gank him.
These Ashe and Annie skins are kind of gaudy, honestly, in the bottom lane.
They're just trying to...
Yeah, they got about the same outfit on, just
Yeah.
different age groups. She
Really
has the
obnoxious.
10 and under section in the shop, and Ashe had the...
Twitch
Young
chat
adults.
wants to know where's the after party and who's buying the keg.
After party at my house, let's go. I have so much beer. I spent
Yeah,
$69 on beer at Woodman's.
Yeah?
69, and I had exactly $70 in cash in my wallet.
Respect. Wait, is there actually a party at your place tonight?
I mean,
Respect.
You don't want these people, these league people.
probably not, in all honesty. But
Well, that's...
You know,
Oh.
you know what we're like.
I don't know if I want this Twitch chat in my house. They're a
But
little
Heck is
rowdy.
2 levels below Shyvana now, so Heck, like, literally has to
Twitch
just
plays party. Zig's got a blue buff, so that should help him bully out the Zed. It's going pretty even so far. Like last game, they are both a little too afraid to be going too ham. They're both full HP, so the poke hasn't really been coming out.
And Annie is just burning up the plants in the bot lane, taking no shit.
Yeah, since they got that early gold lead from the top side, the Ashe Zyra is actually out-leveled. They just hit 6 on Ashe, so they haven't been able to bully them like they normally would be able to with that lane comp.
And like you said, Shyvana can't really farm very easily top lane, so he's forced to roam, going mid lane now.
He might be able to pick up mid while Zed ganks, so it should work out.
Yes, we now have a four-man gank coming in on bot.
Hype.
This is a little aggressive. They should just get the tower here instead of going for the gank.
The ward spots them out. They can't really follow up on it. Forced to just take the tower.
Yeah, I don't know why Shyvana came mid.
I think she just came to cover for ProFrog since he was going bot.
Yeah, I think it works out. She's able to get mid farm, so it's not pushed into the tower, and she can just go back top now.
A poop ton of harass.
It doesn't matter because she's getting the farm. It's not like she needs to fight afterwards.
Yeah, but she is going to lose some CS top now since she left her post. Good job by Cake Shop pushing that in.
It's just kind of like letting Hecarim back into the game.
And we have blue team picking up a dragon, basically nullifying that early advantage that red team got early on.
That's the thing with early dragons, is this doesn't actually help you get the next dragon. It's not really worth going out of your way to do it, in my opinion, at least. I remember seeing back in the LCS, teams would do cheesy level 2 dragons, or even level 1 dragons. Those teams always lost because they lost experience lead.
It might have been viable back when Dragon gave you gold and experience.
That's true. It's even less important for the first dragon now.
Right, and also with the Dragon now actually attacking people when they're trading the aggro, that also makes it a little more difficult.
So back to what I was talking about in pick and ban phase. Doesn't look like red got the laning advantage they want. In fact, they're actually behind in gold by almost 2k from the lane swap. So, like I said, it's not going to be hard for Sedge just to kill the squishy Ashe, Zig, Zyra with the Annie. I think we're going to see an exact replay of game 1. And Hecarim would be the only saving grace in terms of killing them.
And right now, it's not looking like he's saving much unless this gank comes through. Udyr just pounding away with that red buff. But that
Shyvana gets out.
Just makes it super easy for Shyvana to escape.
Yeah, things aren't going to get any better for Hecarim this game.
Wow, NannerBeans taking a huge risk there, and it does not pay off. That was
a... There's no reason to do that. If you're not staying in lane, there's no reason to ward that anyway.
It was a bit of a mistake. It kind of ruined the point of warding when he knew that Udyr was right there, but...
If he wanted to ward for the Udyr, he should have warded the bush behind, like below the turret, to the right side. Not after the lane. That way he can see if he's getting dived or not.
Sometimes...
But to do that is just...
Sometimes you just get a little too curious. Gotta know what's in that bush, and... The Udyr flash
killed the...
penalized it.
Killed the Shyvana.
I know how that goes. Sometimes you're just like, okay, I need to know if he's still here. And then you find out that he is still here.
Well, the question is if Udyr can translate that into an advantage. And since he's going Cinderhulk, I don't think he can. Cinderhulk Udyr is just a worse version of all the other tank Cinderhulks, because he doesn't really have a good means of getting in the thick of everything. He just runs at him, right? But Sejuani can use the CC from a range, whereas Udyr is just sort of forced to hope that they just let him run at him.
Right.
I don't really think this is a fight that Hecarim wanted to take in the top lane.
Yeah, this is
and with Sejuani coming in, Cake Shop could be put out of business here. Nope, they're not going for it, which is pretty surprising. They probably could have handled that dive, but they don't know who's there on the red team to counter that gank.
What I want to see here is Shyvana diving Ziggs here. Ziggs is completely by himself. They have Sejuani. It looks like they're going for it anyway. Sejuani is looking to get over the sides against it. But if Shyvana tank tower, that's an easy kill on Ziggs.
I think They just would want a little more ward coverage to be sure that they're not going to get counter ganked
Sure.
before they
just
try a
everyone
big
on
play
big
like
room.
that.
Oh,
But
here
they
it
are
is,
going in on
lane.
top, and Hecarim forced to ult.
Completely whiffs.
Sejuani ult
Oh, look, and the
completely
crowd
misses,
coming.
and they could be screwed
Look at
over
this.
by
Oh,
this
boy.
so hard. NannerBeans in a really bad spot.
Shyvana's
No flash, but he might get out using his burnout
They do have Ashe ult,
to
so it's
full
not
advantage.
over.
And Ashe
There's
ult
Ashe ult, yep,
connects.
and it hits.
Great Ashe ult by Flandre Scartle. Sorry.
yeah,
if
Flandre with the no
Fla-
scope there.
Flandre.
You gotta say it with flourish. It's
Fla-
Flandre Scarlett.
Flandre
I don't know what it
Scarlett.
is.
That,
I
so-
butchered
that sounds a
though.
lot better than what I said, so we'll go with that.
Flander Scarlett.
Flanders.
Ned Flanders on Ashe.
Great
So-
job.
So TCM picking up 2 much needed kills. Still not gonna help Hecarim 1v1 the Shyvana, but still that's gold that they need in their pockets.
He's definitely in a better spot than he was early on. He now has a kill and only 1 death compared to Shyvana's 2 deaths. Still behind in CS though, but he's actually...
Believe it or not, Hecarim is actually up in gold over
he
Shyvana.
is up in gold due to that kill.
But in terms of items alone, he still can't 1v1, just by the nature of their champions. He should be trying to farm top quickly and then immediately go to help his team. If he just is stuck in the 1v1 versus Shyvana, that's not a winning situation.
And it looks like he's going in. We could see an ult come down from Hecarim. He's choosing not to, though. It's actually on cooldown.
He didn't have it. That was a mistake.
Not really sure what that
Plain and
TP was
simple.
intended for.
The tower wasn't getting sieged enough to justify that, and they didn't have the means to start a fight because Udyr can only, as we saw, try to run at them.
Yep, they don't really have a lot of initiate with that Ashe arrow and Hecarim ult down. And
I think we're seeing that a disparity in how the teams know how to play their champions in terms of like team comp.
it could be, yeah.
Sejuani engages are really easy to play as a team. You just engage when you have your summoners up. Something like Udyr, like we just saw them sort of attempt to create a fight, but they didn't really know how to play it. Without Ashe ult, without Hecarim ult,
I think Hecarim just panicked a little too much. He thought he had to come in and help his team to protect the turret.
and since he's forced to go top here without teleport, and Shyvana does have teleport,
This should
It's
be
getting pretty rough
an
for him.
easy dragon for blue side.
Yeah, agreed.
If red tries to engage here, they'll be in a really bad spot unless they can catch ProFrog out. But ProFrog is still alive and kicking. Stoltmeister goes down.
Amazing
Ranman
Zyra ult.
almost goes down. Zyra just hanging on in that 4v4.
Yeah, really unfortunate that they couldn't pick up the kill on Kalista there.
Yeah, you got Kalista and Sejuani really low, barely surviving, and making
Still
that
a
team
1 for
fight.
2 in favor of blue, just barely.
I'm surprised we didn't see the teleport in from NannerBeans to really.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could have cleaned that up there.
They could have, that
Or
team
at least taken
fight
Dragon.
could have gone a lot better, and they could have potentially aced those 4 red team members.
So neither team gets Dragon. A small gold pickup from blue, but not a big deal yet. It's really going to be up to what summoners are up when which team decides to go for Dragon. And Sejuani ult is down.
Yep.
Hecarim ult is up. Ashe ult is down. ProFrog should be getting his Zed ult fairly soon.
And we do have NannerBeans taking that red away from the red team. Their own buff is gone.
Yeah, I think they need to have a better early game strategy against the Shyvana. Right now, they're sort of hoping that they can just get to late game and not have to deal with her, but she's getting such a huge lead in terms of
And
taking
Cake,
objectives, taking control, and shutting down the other top laner, most importantly.
certainly. And if Cake Shop pressures Shyvana enough and uses his charge to stop her teleport, that could prevent a situation where they're pressuring Dragon with Shyvana trying to TP in.
What I'd like to see TCM doing here is just immediately using Hecarim ult on someone they can kill easily, like Annie even. Right now they're just having. Oh,
and
here we go.
see Ranman in a really bad spot. Nice job by Cake Shop,
The Zigzag
dropping
takes it.
Ranman, and ProFrog going really deep, and he does not get the kill but dies anyways.
That exhaust really paying off. Just barely
That was a
surviving
fantastic exhaust. Barely keeping that team alive, and Cake Shop will go down.
there. Yeah, they
No,
do pick up Hecarim, but
okay.
they trade it for the dragon here.
Almost gets out. This is going really well in favor of the red team. We do have NannerBeans coming in from behind all alone. I don't think he can pressure this.
He does have. It looks like he has ult up.
And with Ash slowing him, he is not getting out alive. Oh my gosh, maybe he is. NannerBeans, the dream.
Udyr doesn't have a lot to offer.
I don't know how he escaped with an Udyr and an Ash hounding him, but he managed to pull it off.
Still, TCM still behind in gold, but they pick up second dragon and a much needed kill on ProFrog, and I believe Callisto as well. Yeah.
Oh, and
Hecarim going hard mid.
forcing out a flash from Sejuani in mid. Nice job by Cake Shop. Putting his stamp on this game after his rough early game.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hecarim's a much
Ranman.
stronger pick here than Trundle.
Wow, that was nasty.
Ranman almost finishes off Glory. Barely miscalculated that Ren.
Yeah, it's easy to not really understand Callisto's damage, and barely misses it there.
And we have ProFrog getting caught out a little bit by
You should be able to just jump over the wall here.
Udyr. Could he be baiting out some sort of... No.
Ash ult is up though. Oh, Ziggs ult.
Ziggs almost
Well,
drops.
Callisto's sort of in
ProFrog.
trouble. Ash doesn't have the mana for ult quite yet though.
That could have
been-
turned out really poorly for the blue team. Playing a little bit...
Yeah, ProFrog needs to work on maybe going a little less ham in terms of not having the vision for those types of plays.
He was also a little hesitant to use his shadow. Not really sure why.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Decided
Maybe
to-
he had used it earlier, or he
That
had
could
enough
be.
energy. I didn't notice that.
Pretty even though so far this game. Both teams taking some objectives, getting some kills, even on kills. And I think we have the red team with up on Dragon right now. But
Yeah,
they-
one dragon up.
But they are a little behind on gold, so that somewhat evens things out there. So it's
Yeah.
really anyone's game at this point.
ProFrog is the star right now. He has the most gold after Callista. Both are pretty fed right now. On the other hand, we've got actually Hecarim somehow managing to be the most gold on TCM. So I guess it's up to Hecarim to make the plays, and it's up to Zed to be able to kill the backline.
And we'll see who can carry out this mid and late game. Zed will definitely start to fall off as this game goes on further.
Yeah, we'll see Zhonya's on Ziggs, and plus with that exhaust, he's going to have to force himself onto Ash instead of Ziggs pretty soon.
Certainly, and I think Hecarim will definitely start to scale up better, much
Yeah,
better than Zed as the game
That's-
goes on.
That's true. He's starting to get a lot of game impact right now, and those ults are going to be critical in securing kills on Callista and Annie.
Yep, as we saw earlier, he was able to basically almost by himself pick up that kill on Callista that he caught out.
I think the main difference here between the Trundle and Hecarim pick is that Trundle wasn't able to get in the backline to enable something like a Ziggs ult. Hecarim doesn't have that problem. So I think this pick is doing a lot more favors for them.
Certainly, they have a lot more engage and dive potential to work well with the Ziggs ult.
Wow,
And
Zed going in on the Hecarim here.
Looks like ProFrog's trying to say that I'm gonna carry this game.
Maybe
Screw
not the
you,
best
Cake
target
Shop.
for his ult.
Definitely, but Cake Shop
He's down
is
2 levels
low.
on Hecarim. I don't think he
ProFrog.
has the means of getting this kill.
This is the battle of the carries right now, and it looks like that could be a sign that Cake Shop is gonna start taking over as the dominant carry in this game.
They had
And-
Ash ult here.
And here we go, maybe an engage.
Sejuani ult just to
Ziggs ult
steal.
barely misses. Great flash by ProFrog. Alex going down on Sejuani. We might see a retaliation kill. Nope, no retaliation kill, but the team getting really low. Shyvana goes down though. No kills for blue team, 2 kills for red team. Ranman forced to flash away.
Oh, the exhaust to secure the kill.
2 flashes in by Glory and Ramilla. That is a 4-0 by red team. Great job in that team fight from the very start.
Yeah, well done by TCM. What you have to wonder is how that would have been differently if ProFrog hadn't used his ult.
That is a great point, and that could be a turning point in terms of the strength of this red team taking off as the game continues.
Yeah, Ziggs is getting closer and closer to that Zhonya's. Zed's going to be having a hard time finding any nice targets, because if he tries to go for Ziggs, he gets exhausted. He gets the Zhonya's. If he tries to go for Ashe, he gets an ult in his face, and he gets Zyra peel. So
yeah,
I think
pretty tricky. He'll really have to go for Ashe and be able to burst him down quick and get out and execute very flawlessly in order to be relevant in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a mechanics game for him trying to get to Ashe without getting ulted.
We'll see how well he can pull that off.
So Dragon up in 25 seconds. I would want to see them take the Scuttle Crab here, but at least they're getting the good wards down for that. Yep, there it is. They're getting Scuttle Crab. Ashe ult almost up.
That is a great call. Getting that free vision that can't be eliminated. Always good before that dragon spawns.
Teleports up on both sides. Hecarim opting to stay top until he's needed.
Oh wow, ProFrog going in on Ashe. Great job. Takes Ashe down. Zyra goes down. ProFrog saying, screw you guys, I am still relevant in this game. I will get some picks. Cake Shop coming in. I don't know if he was trying to escape or
I'm not
go
sure
in on that.
But
it was a bit strange, but he could be going down. Barely getting taken down by Shyvana and Callista. That chasing power is too strong for him.
So what we saw there was, since ProFrog and Stoltmeister got those early wards, they were able to see Ashe and Zyra by themselves before they had to back up for the team. So it's an easy pickup by Zed. Really well done, knowing where to be at the right time.
Yes, great job using that vision to get some picks. That's exactly what he needs to do with Zed right now, because that's where he's going to excel at this point in the game. And they are able to capitalize it, take over the dragon control, and get a few kills out of it as well.
So this is a long time in the future, but Ashe will need a QSS this game. She's got Sejuani ult, she's got Annie ult, and most importantly Zed ult to worry about.
That is a very good point, and it will be crucial in order for them to be able to win late team fights, because Zed will focus Ashe almost every time, I assume, because
she's going to have a hard time getting to that point though. She's already almost, looks like 40 farm behind, and she's just barely getting her static shiv. So if she decides to get QSS next, she doesn't have lifesteal, which she wants.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what she decides for. If she just keeps on going damage, she runs the risk of just dying every team fight from Zed if she doesn't get the proper positioning.
Yeah, we'll have to see how she decides to manage that tough decision. Survival ability through lifesteal or through QSS?
Yeah, I think you're forced to go QSS this game. Lifesteal's not going to help against something like Zed.
With the Zed burst and with his number of kills being where it's at, how fed he is right now, I think she will need that QSS.
So Blue deciding to push up mid while they see 3 top, but they're going against his Ziggs. He should be able to wave clear effectively against this. But Red's not getting there in time, so
it looks like we have an outer for an inner. Great job by blue team capitalizing on that push top to
a little late on that Ziggs ult there.
Seize control mid. Cake Shop in a little bit of a precarious spot here, and I think they see him now with Sejuani. Sejuani going in, his team going for red buff instead, like, we'll pick him up later. First we need the red buff.
He's less important.
The ult is not enough to get out. He just gets
they use everything
decimated.
And Ranman comes in for the kill secured. After the Sejuani ult and these. Settle.
Yep.
He deserved that kill.
2 ults used, but getting Ranman more fed and getting that pick on Cake Shop allows them to just do whatever they want right now.
So they thought about going for inhibitor tower there, but they see Udyr pushing the mid, and they're forced to teleport to it.
Great job by Udyr, putting pressure elsewhere, forcing blue team back. That is a very Trick 2G-esque style of play. I think
He's got to open the gates, man.
he's opening the gates. He heard you earlier, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna play like Trick. And there we see it. Also some pressure bot lane put on by Ashe and Zyra.
So Zhonya's on the Ziggs now, so that's going to be pretty critical.
Just, again, limiting the number of targets that ProFrog has that he can jump on.
That said, that's only relevant if they're grouping effectively and they're not caught out. If Ziggs is caught by Zed one-on-one, it doesn't matter that he has Zhonyas. He's still going to die.
That is very true.
So Red needs to start finding places where they can group. Sort of like last game. When they're split up, they're going to die against something like Sejuani. It's just too easy to get picked up.
And again, I think they need to kind of get control of their jungle. The vision on the red side jungle is, I would say, more in favor of the blue team, even though it's the red team's own jungle.
Yeah, Stolt doing a good job of clearing out that pink. I think the bot side, there we go, we got a little bit more warding. They're starting to play, they realize that they're going to get caught out. They're playing really far back now, which is okay because there's no objectives to be getting right now. Dragon's not for another 2 minutes.
And that vision control is forcing them to stay back because they have very minimal vision, although they're starting to build it out now. And they know that their jungle is warded just about everywhere.
So Blue pretty wisely deciding, oh wow, Hecarim going bold here.
Okay, we could see some trading going on, a little
Both
give and
decide
take.
It's not worth it, not a great engage for either team. But you see Blue clearing out the Baron side. They have already gotten every outer turret. So that's really the next place to go, is to either bait Baron through clearing out all the vision, or just doing it if they see people going bot. I'd like to see Shyvana splitting bot tower here, once she gets her teleport up, to enable the Baron.
It looks like they're opting to have the Zed split bot instead, which will put more pressure on if someone tries to go solo in that lane against him.
Yeah, that's true. Right now we only see Ziggs, and we know how that would turn out if he's by himself.
Definitely, but ProFrog a little bit deep. His team is there to back him up, though. We could see a quick turnaround.
They go too far.
And nothing coming out of this. A lot of skill shots missing.
Yeah, Udyr a little bit too tanky to try to engage a team fight just on him. If they use Sedge ult on him...
A little too quick. We see ProFrog going in deep on
Ash.
Finding
the
Ash's QSS perfectly executed, saving his life, but Cake Shop is in a really bad spot. There's no team here to help him out. All on his own, but there's a retaliation kill.
That ult, oh my god.
Wow, people are blowing up on both sides. Who is going to win this team fight? It looks like it's blue team. I don't even know what happened, honestly, but it is going to the blue team. Oh, wow, nice kill by Ziggs before going down.
Wow, that's a lot closer than I thought it'd be, considering Zed ult got cleansed in the beginning.
Wow.
By the QSS.
Great job by Ashe surviving the Zed engage. Let's watch that team fight again. I think I need to see what happened there because there's a lot that happened very quickly.
Kalista in that team fight. I didn't see how she died. Meanwhile, Blue is taking up an easy dragon for third dragon.
That was just a brutal team fight. Alright, going back to live here. Like you said, blue team picking up the dragon. Capitalizing on that team fight win. So what do you think went wrong for red team on that team fight? Why did they lose that?
We did see a lack of coordination in terms of Hecarim ult trying to be at the same time as all the other skills.
Yeah.
They weren't. He was sort of went a little bit too early to back up his team. Since Ashe was being engaged on by the Zed, they were sort of split into two groups. They had Ashe sort of trying to survive on her own, and then they had Hecarim on the other side trying to fight the backline. They didn't really have their damage engaging at the same time. A little unfortunate. That said, it did go a little bit more. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that even, but I don't think it's going to be too big a problem in the future. I think we can keep on seeing these even fights. It only translated into a third dragon. Both teams got a lot of gold.
And now we see blue team toying with Baron. Looks like they're going for a bait instead.
Oh wow, they know they're probably in that bush though.
Cake Shop keeping an eye out. And a little bit of trading going on.
Yeah, against Ashe and Ziggs poke, they can't really start Baron and commit to it. They're either forced to start Baron and then immediately try to Sedge ult the group.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, if they're going to bait Baron, they need to have a split push pressure. Either Shyvana pushing bot lane, maybe Zed doing a 1-3-1. It looks like they're starting to think about that. They do have Shyvana on the top, and then I'd like to see Zed push bot. It's not like Red can really effectively force an objective.
Right. There's the risk, though, if they send Zed bot of the Ashe ult engage with...
That's true, on the 3 mid.
Zed not being able to TP back in. So definitely the Shyvana, and looks like they're sending the Shyvana bot. So
yeah, that's wise.
That was a good call. But they can pretty much easily counter with the Hecarim bot lane, who also has teleport. Okay, now they have ProFrog pushing top instead.
Yeah, and they see him top, so they're starting to run at the mid.
We see the Ashe arrow going in, hits Sejuani, not the best target. They decide to back off.
They're too close to the tower to fight that. It's a good thought, but a little bit too forced. And since that Ashe ult's down, it just enables a split push.
You know, that went down pretty much exactly like we expected it to, and we're just talking about. Minus...
Ooh, and
Ramilla, nice... Zonya's not enough to save him.
Using the CUSA ult to save and re-engage on the Hecarim.
ProFrog going so deep, picks off Ashe in a matter of seconds, if not milliseconds. Great play by blue team, doing exactly what they needed to do, executing perfectly.
Another failed surrender.
Another failed surrender, sadly.
We've got to give credit to Annie seeing the opening there. They knew the Ashe ult was down. They knew they were backing out, so she was able to just cleanly go for that engage.
That was a great initiate by Stoltmeister, and it would have been a great initiate by Ashe had they been able to follow up that Ashe arrow. It would have been a 5v3, and they could have had a much better situation there, but since it didn't connect, it put them in a really bad spot for that team fight.
Yeah, that's why I said something like Janna would have made more sense on a team like this with Ashe and Ziggs. Since your strategy isn't... if you get picked like that, you just die. You don't have the means to stop it. But Janna can reset a fight. Even Nami would maybe be a better pick here, but they tried to go for that early game dominance, and it just didn't work.
And I do think they were thinking along those lines with the Zyra ult, but it's not quite on the level of a Janna ult or a Nami ult.
Yeah, Zyra ult's a little bit better against melees that are running at you, but it's not really something that stops a Zed. It's not something that stops a Sejuani ult, for example.
Definitely, definitely. That might be something to think about for the next game. That or a Sejuani ban or pick.
Yeah, I think the first problem isn't trying to adapt to the strong team, but to get rid of it.
Here we go. Wow, the entangling roots landing on 2 people. Cake Shop going in, getting railed, and ProFrog going in.
Wow.
Udyr going down. No one dead on blue side, and they are looking for blood. Ramilla goes down. That is an ace. So cleanly done.
And that should be the game. 30-second timers, mid inhibitors already down. That should be the game
this looks like it will be the game. Great team fight. They did not bat an eye.
Zyra tried to go and kill the Zed after he fought her, but he was just too far ahead. There's no way that he can win that fight.
GG's called.
It was a good attempt, but it's not going to do enough for him, and that is the end of the game. Let's just go back and watch that last team fight one more time, just for kicks.
So it started out well. They had the Hecarim ult hitting most. The problem, Ziggs ult hit the front line. They weren't able to hit the back line. They did hit 3 with the Ziggs, but they weren't able to get anyone low enough to secure a kill.
Yep, so we see the entangling roots go down. Cake Shop goes in, gets bursted down really fast. Great job by Sejuani. Going back and peeling for his team, just collapsing on the Hecarim instead of going deep. And that was just strong positioning, strong play by blue team. It's Team TSM, right? TCM.
TCM is the team with Udyr, Ziggs,
Okay,
Ashe, Hecarim,
I'm sorry.
Shadow.
And what's the other team?
I was hoping someone else would know.
And
They're blue team. That's what they are.
Blue team. Good job, blue team.
Had they been a little more equal in gold, I actually think that would have worked out way better. They hit Ziggs ult on 3, they hit Hecarim ult on maybe all 5, and they had decent positioning for the Zyra ult to peel, but ProFrog was just a little bit too farmed on Zed. He was able to kill Ashe even with the QSS. He was just, well, part of it was that Ashe decided to flash to try to get the kill there. Oh, they're the Dank Gank Squad. I'm sorry.
The Dank Gank Squad.
Gank Squad.
All right, thank you.
I don't know how I could
Twitch
possibly
chat,
forget
if that was
name. My bad. I apologize for that.
That name is so kawaii.
Pretty dank.
That was a dank team fight. Super dank.
Super dank ganks.
So, is this 2-0 so far?
Yeah.
2-0 so far.
So, can we see the reverse sweep? I would hope that they have a better pick ban phase because it's sad because they're starting out pretty well. They're making good plays in the early game. That game they were still behind, but they had a better idea with their team picks. But they just need to ban Sejuani. It's as simple as that. They're not adapting to it well, so they just need to pick it. They just need to ban it out.
So is that gonna open up a can of worms of another kind with them dropping another ban?
Well, what's interesting is we haven't really seen Alex play much else other than Sejuani. Teams don't think it's worth banning for whatever reason, and that's probably why they've gotten so easily to these finals. So if we see the Sejuani ban, which I guess the question is, why do you think Mundo is a more important champion pick than Sejuani? I just don't see it.
That is a great question.
If anything, Shyvana seems like
charm on that team comp.
Third time? Oh, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to get it again. I think they're going to adapt.
You don't think so?
They banned Mundo last time. They banned... I'm having a hard time remembering, but Mundo serves almost the same role as Shyvana, so it's not like they're really losing much by...
I think they banned Jinx too.
That's, let's see. No, that was the other team. Jinx was banned against them because they saw... If he doesn't play Jinx, he plays Ashe or Caitlyn.
Jinx is pretty good.
I think he did fine on Ashe. I think that's not a problem. Alright, so we had... The last game, it was Morgana was a ban, Mundo was a ban, and Vladimir was a ban. I guess the question is... It's really the Mundo one. I don't blame them for banning Morgana, especially if they're going to play something like Ashe Zyra.
Definitely. That would be a super hard counter.
I would suggest that Zed is maybe perhaps a more important ban than Vladimir, and Mundo is not quite as good a ban as Sejuani. The problem is, since they haven't had the practice to know what they're going to go against, maybe they would rather fight what they know and try to adapt to it than just do something completely new. I still think that Sejuani just has enough innate power that they need to ban it, or at least try to pick Morgana.
Kyle,
Yes.
I'm gonna let you guys drive the bus on this next one. You
Okay.
guys seem to have a pretty good handle on it.
All right, dude.
You don't need
Nice
my
work.
subpar commentary. Like,
I mean, we
need the
kind of
memes,
do,
though. We need
but
those dank memes.
yeah, dude.
some more dank memes and anime references.
Oh, I take it back. I think we're good. But thanks, bud.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, dude.
Good luck on Cloud9, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't need it, but good luck anyways.
User left your channel.
Speaking of which, I can't go without plugging. I really hope that either CLG or Cloud9 picks up Alex Teach. That's just my plug because I'm a sort of a fanboy. But as long as we're talking about the opening in Cloud9, I don't understand why these teams aren't picking him up.
That is a little odd. Alexic being a free agent.
Yeah, playing in a challenger NA team and crushing people. His team's undefeated right now. All right, moving on to the games.
Maybe
at
he's
hand.
having too much fun with that. It's
That's
basically
true. Maybe he's denying
it's
these
basically
offers.
smurfing for pros.
All right, thank God they're starting to change their bans, getting rid of these easy engage champions. So Annie's a great ban. Zed is a great ban, and let's hope that they pick Sejuani next. I mean, they don't have to if they decide to ban or to take Morgana or Janna. So already a better pick ban phase.
Yeah, they are just going straight for the problem areas this time around. We'll see what other weaknesses that opens up and whether
Without
it pays
Mundo being
off.
banned, I still think they're going to keep Shyvana. They've had a lot of success with Shyvana, so I wouldn't really see any reason for them to swap that out. I don't think Mundo needs to be banned here whatsoever.
Yeah, it was a strange ban, and it must have been based on looking at stats from LoL King or something.
Yeah, to be fair, NannerBeans has had more success with Mundo than Shyvana.
Oh,
So, there it is,
they
yeah.
stick with the Mundo ban. Still no Sejuani ban. We'll see if they pick that
Well, they
in order
have,
to
yeah,
block
good
it.
point. Since they're blue, they do have first pick, so they can either take it here or at least take a priority pick. So Callista hasn't been banned, so that's another thing to raise. That could be 3 games on Callista, so
A Xerath ban. Interesting. A lot of mid-targeted bans from the Dank Gank Squad. That's them, right?
you've got it, yeah.
Yep.
Dank Gank
All
Squad.
right. The Dank Gank Squad and the
Oh, yeah.
Morgana.
Thankfully, they
getting
picked Morgana.
up.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see.
That is
They're having a hard time. They're winning if you take away the instant engages from the other side from Dank Gank Squad. So Morgana is almost the best pick, bar none, to stop that type of thing. We
Yep,
saw game
great
1, they're
call.
able to win laning phase, or at least trade back and forth. So they keep Sejuani. It's not going to be quite as impactful this game, especially without Annie, without Zed. So let's see if they can adapt to that Sedge pick. So far, they're on the right track.
Also, that Morgana pick will definitely take away a bit from the Sejuani engage if they can shield well.
Yeah, we saw last game, Sedge was sometimes just picking one target to get the guaranteed kill. Morgana, like I said, is just the best pick against that.
Yep.
That said, they need to be grouped for that to even be a thing.
Wow, they go with Aatrox, lock it in, no hesitation, and a Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Cho'Gath isn't
Holy
surprising.
moly.
That's sort of their main champion in terms of winning these games. I'm surprised they haven't seen it before. Aatrox, they've only played rarely. I like it. I like it a lot.
So could we see some heavy pick engage action going on here?
One nice thing about Aatrox and Cho'Gath is, obviously Cho'Gath is tankier, so it's harder to insta-kill him with something like Sejuani. Aatrox has his passive of Revive, so if they pick him out, like if they try to engage on him real quick and get a quick kill on him, the team can back him up as he respawns. So if they waste Sejuani ult on it, maybe they can come back.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
NannerBeans on Aurelia, that's actually his second strongest champion after Mundo. Maybe his first strongest. I don't know what he personally thinks, but those are his 2 mains. I think he's going against the Cho'Gath, if I'm not mistaken here. I'm not certain on that.
That will yet to be seen, and it looks like the Janna is being taken away by the Dank Gank Squad. They must not want the counter engage used against them.
Sort of going for a different strategy here. I think it has to do with the Annie ban, because before they were all about, let's start a team fight, let's engage really quick, get a quick pick with Annie, Sejuani. But with Janna and Aurelia, that's not quite the same case. Callista can no longer ult the support and get them in the front line. You can do that with Janna, but it's not quite as effective as something like Annie.
So what
It's more of a peeling champion.
What do you think about the Callista Janna combo going
It's
in
good.
here? It's good.
I've seen Ranman play with that lane before, and he's really strong with it. Last time they did it in a lane swap, though, and I personally think Janna's one of the best champions to lane swap. In terms of like going 2v1, she offers the damage, the peel, the disengage in case you get ganked, and a lot of turret damage with the shield AD. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them lane swap. The only problem with that philosophy is Aurelia doesn't do really well in a lane swap. She sort of requires that solo lane farm. But
and she doesn't have that range.
They've been able to win in lane swaps, even when NannerBeans gets a little bit behind in the past.
So
And I think if you shut down Caitlyn and Morgana early game, it does a lot for you in terms of team fights.
for sure, and that's not a lane you want to go against early on whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal lane. Janna isn't really a pick that you do into Morgana saying, I'm going to win against Morgana. If anything,
Right.
you can sort of counter Janna with Morgana, in a sense. So
Yeah.
that's sort of why I wouldn't be surprised to see a lane swap here. Wow, Lulu on ProFrog, ProFrog on Lulu. Not really what they
Okay.
usually go with, especially since Zedban. He usually goes something like Diana.
So they're
I've seen him play it. They usually play a more safe, cautious game, which I think they have a harder time with than these all-out team fight comps. They do have good rotations, but they don't. When you no longer have that huge advantage you have of the Sejuani insta comp, I wouldn't be surprised to see this being a much closer game with Morgana evening that out.
It's looking more like a disengage comp than an actual engage comp this time around for the Dank Gank Squad.
Yeah, they're going to be relying on less about team fighting and getting picks and more on rotating around the map and trying to get advantages through towers, which they have done well on. I'm not going to deny that, but it's a trickier victory, and it gives a lot of more avenues for TCM to come back.
Definitely. So it looks like we'll have the Cho'Gath mid as opposed to top.
Yeah, I was mistaken on that. I should have seen that coming. But
Yeah,
Shyvana
that-
versus the Aurelia. If they do decide to lane swap, if Dank Gank Squad does lane swap, Shyvana gets to have both jungle farm and the farm from the tower, whereas Aurelia is going to have a harder time in the 1v2. So maybe they won't go for that lane swap.
Yeah, so that's a little odd because now the non-lane swap doesn't favor them and the lane swap doesn't favor them either. So they're kind of in this position where they're screwed either way a bit.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they decide on level 1. I really think this is looking considerably better for TCM. Like I said, especially in game 1, if it wasn't for those pick and ban problems, I think they would have had they were winning team fights, even when they had a disadvantage. So I'm expecting to see this go the other way. They had a lot of success on Cho'Gath. I've seen a lot of victories with that champion. It's one of their highest win rate champions in their ranked 5s team. Aatrox as well, they've played fairly well. Big benefit
That's
of Aatrox
interesting.
is that no one knows how to play against it. They don't know the strengths of the champion.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of things going for him in the jungle. He's got great sustain. He has not bad ganks at all. He scales well into the late game, and he can get tanky. And if, like I said before, if Sejuani tries to engage on, let's say, the front line, which would be Aatrox and Shyvana, both of them have great ways of either disengaging or fighting back, with Aatrox's passive and usually building somewhat tanky. So this is looking considerably better. And they have Morgana in their favor as well against Sejuani.
So do you think the Aatrox is going to build more tanky or more damage? Because they do have the Shyvana and the Cho'Gath, who will be quite beefy, I'm guessing.
I would hope to see him go after maybe one damage item, go tanky. Something like, let's say, Spirit Visage to synergize with his healing. The reason for that is because if he tries to dive, let's say, Callista, and he's just full damage, you can't get through a Lulu. You can't get through a Janna. They have a pseudo, if you've heard of Juggermaw, where you just have your AD carry be the strongest champion, and you put a bunch of supports with them. The shield from Janna, the shield from Lulu, the speed up from Lulu, the ult from Lulu. It's going to be really hard to kill Callista this game, especially if you're just a squishy damage champion. So that's why I prefer to see him on like a frontline sort of bruiser type, where you have a little bit of damage, maybe something like a Blade of the Rune King, but then tank after that. And then they can just kill the front line with something like Caitlyn, something like Cho'Gath getting a nice rupture on the front line, or getting a nice Q.
Yep, so a lot on this game will depend on how well the TCM can dive on Callista and kill her, and how well the Dank Gank Squad can peel and keep her alive, essentially.
Yeah, and he's, as we've seen in the last 2 games, and you've seen in prior games this tournament, Ranman on Callista can carry, and when he has 2 supports on his back, it's even easier. So it's going to be a question of, do they go for Callista, or do they try to rotate in a way that they fight without that huge shield? It's going to be about where they are at the right times. It's not going to be about mechanical outplays, I think, like it was in the first 2 games with like team fights. I think it's going to be about how many people are here when they're sieging a tower, who's there for the vision in the dragon pit. It's going to be more of a who's outsmarting the other team as opposed to can they land their ults and pick people.
It's a good point. A lot of positioning. Vision control will probably be important too.
So the one thing I will say about this level 1 is Morgana Cho'Gath has a better invade potential. It doesn't look like they're going for it. They're going for the safe start. Red side is starting to look a little aggressive here, which is strange. Every game so far they've just gone for this simple buff.
It looks like we're seeing a new side to TCM, and they get spotted out. Unfortunately, Remilia just has that sixth sense and happens to walk by as the entire...
Dank Gank Squad might be a little annoyed with getting 3 buffed every single game.
That could be. They're finally getting sick of it.
Getting some good words there.
And we have a counter invade coming in from TCM. Now that they know...
it looks like they're just going to face check that blue side. Sejuani's just going to walk right into them.
That was a smart move because I think
they knew that they didn't ward there. So
they're catching Dank Gank Squad flat-footed here. Alex all on his own. Nice flash. Barely the binding does not connect.
The binding needed to hit there.
And it was so close to hitting, but that flash was immediate. I have to think he was suspecting a counter invade there.
He might have been a little on his toes there, expecting something.
And that was very, very good play by Alex there, staying alive in a 4v1 situation, level 1.
He's not going to get a leash, so a little bit slower start, but if you think about it, he's had a slow start all 3 games now. First game he got 3 buffed, second game he had a low HP start, so... And then Janna's coming in to help him out a little bit, so not too bad for Alex.
Okay, so we have Shyvana teleporting top after getting the wolves, it looks like.
Yep, small advantage. Got a little bit of experience, plus he's got a bigger wave against Aurelia.
Some trading going on top, fairly even. And we have ProFrog pushing mid in, trying to take advantage of his small early advantage against Cho'Gath, who's a little squishier in the early game.
Yeah, I think the only difference in terms of laning, or one of the bigger differences we're going to see this game, is ProFrog isn't on this power champion. Lulu doesn't do much on her own.
That is true.
There's some lanes that Lulu can bully out. Cho'Gath is not one of them. He's got the sustain, he's got the lane clear. It's going to be, I would expect to see this be just a farm lane, which goes in favor of Cho'Gath. And if there's going to be a kill, it's going to be for Cho'Gath in terms of the game.
Definitely. That is the way it's looking so far. If ProFrog was going to be able to bully him, it would have been at level 1. And that time is quickly passing, and Cho'Gath is quickly becoming a beast.
Yeah, it's going to be up to ProFrog just to try to farm and get to a point later on that he can make power plays, because it's not going to happen in this lane.
So far, no aggressive plays.
Yeah, as we saw in game 1, Kalista and Caitlyn goes in a small advantage for Caitlyn early on. They didn't opt for the lane swap.
Wow, did Aatrox just solo that dragon?
Level 2.
I didn't even see that happen. I think it was level 1, and then he got level 2 after.
Level 2. Wow.
How
bold play.
In blazes? Okay, I think I'm gonna go back and. He soloed that whole thing? He just... Okay, he was level 2 before...
Okay, yeah. Oh, Binding lands on Kalista. They get some nice damage. Use Exhaust. Maybe a little bold there, but they do have a HP advantage right now. Kalista's pretty low in mana as well.
Wow.
Sejuani coming down for the gank, but she should be spotted by that ward. And they still have...
Okay, and they're backing off here. Turns out okay for them. And that has to be a pretty big advantage, not a huge amount of sacrifice for that dragon. It's just Aatrox.
Yeah, I'm liking this Aatrox pick already.
A little behind on creeping out, but
Oh, gank
not
from
a
Sejuani
bad
mid.
trade.
It shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah.
Actually, they're even on CS despite the Dragon from Aatrox, and he's even pulling ahead in CS now.
Yeah, he's going to be able to gank effectively and 1v1. I like it better than Udyr because it actually has gank pressure and backline pressure. You actually have the gap closer where you're sort of forced to just hope that they're out of position, really.
So do you think Aatrox used his passive to pick up that Dragon, or just got it without?
I didn't see it. I don't think he would because that would reset the dragon and it would start healing.
Yeah, okay.
But he does have the healing on every third auto, so I've seen a video of like all the different level 1, level 2, level 3 dragons by different junglers. Aatrox does it better than almost everyone else because of that sustain.
As we saw, a level 2 Dragon solo.
Ooh, gank by Sejuani in the bot lane.
And this could turn out really bad, but they're not
this
going
is the
for
second
it.
time. This is the second time Sejuani's tried to gank bot. It really shows that they really rely on Kalista for them to win this game because
They
without
certainly
Lulu
do.
doesn't offer damage, and Janna and Lulu need to make. The whole point is getting the AD carry fed, and they're already losing laning phase against that Caitlyn, so
That does
well done
not
by
bode
TCM.
well. And yeah, Kalista and Janna were just too low to even try and go in on the
Divine
gank.
Lance.
Wow! Oh my
Forced to
god!
use heal.
Ranman
Wow.
barely surviving. Great heal by Stoltmeister, keeping him holding on to life by a fingernail.
Oh wow, fight top lane.
And NannerBeans solos his enemy. No
yeah,
problem.
I wish I was watching that. I wonder if
I'll go
Shyvana
back,
went a little
jump
too
back a bit,
aggressively.
and see what happened there. Okay, so it looks like we have had a TP in from NannerBeans, and great double Q, and just a snipe by that knife. Nice play, NannerBeans.
Yeah, when you don't take flash in a matchup like that, you really have to be wary of the engages that you open yourself up to.
Yeah, that was a just seamless play by NannerBeans, though. He teleported in, jumped right onto the one minion in the back that had low enough health to die by his Q, so he could jump again on top of Cake Shop.
Showing a little champion mastery with that Aurelia.
Definitely, he has played this champion before, clearly, using Blade Surge perfectly.
So despite that one kill in the top lane, as expected, Cho'Gath is sort of getting out of control in that mid lane. He's getting stacks in his R, he's up in farm. ProFrog's just sort of try to pick up the farm he can. Bot lane, same situation. Caitlyn's gotten a huge lead, and that Morgana pick is really showing its strength. I sort of wish they had picked it game 1 and 2 because this is what they could have been doing.
But it got banned, right?
Oh, I think they were the ones that banned it. I could be wrong.
Okay. So that's pretty smart, choosing not to ban it out. And some trading going on bot lane.
Level 6 on Caitlyn. A little bit low from trades, but should be able to sustain up to about 3/4 health here with that health pot and Doran's Blade.
And that's one drawback of the Morgana in lane. She doesn't have shielding or sustain.
Yeah,
Well,
if you're not landing
kind
that
of has
bindings,
shielding,
you're losing
but-
trades. So Cho'Gath on, it looks like 4 stacks already on Feast. There's not really anything that Lulu can do against Cho'Gath.
Yeah, once it hits the mid, especially the mid game, Cho'Gath's power spike, he's such a monster in lane.
Oh wow, Morgana ulting and exhausting bot lane.
Oh wow, we could have a kill going on to Ranman. He goes super low, and
They
wow,
have Caitlyn ult.
we
That
have the
should be a free
Caitlyn ult
kill.
to finish it off, and Diamond 1 Yasuo waiting in the wings,
Oh.
flashes in and takes down Stoltmeister. What a play. They're taking advantage.
Makes you think that they should have lane swapped because that Morgana pick is doing work.
And like we said early on, the bot lane was going to be a huge strong point for TCF. TCM, I'm sorry. This is not
For
a
Dank Gank
bank.
Squad. Yeah, you're right. And with Kalista being so far behind, they don't really have the means to teamfight. Lulu only offers a little bit of damage and then a shield, but
Yeah.
Without any items on that Callista, level 5 still. She'll hit 6 soon, but it's starting to get... Okay, Aurelia's roaming, that's
A
smart.
lot of our predictions are coming true with this game. Mid and bot are dominant right now for TCM. And as Joe Bob
Oh,
says...
teleport in from the Shyvana. That should just secure the dragon. That'll be their second dragon. It's starting to look pretty
Cake
good.
Shop coming in. Yasuo's a little bit low.
They need to get out. They can't turn this. Oh, the
They're
Rupture
going
lands.
in.
Blast
ProFrog
turn.
trying to
Shyvana,
get out.
wow,
This
great
could
ult.
be a turn. We do have Alex engaging. All of the CC landing and kills left and right. It looks like the Dank Gank Squad came out ahead on
Oh,
this,
nice
and they
ult.
want some more kills. They're not done yet. And there goes 4 of TCM's players dropped.
We have to give credit to Alex there, getting that ult from the behind the wall.
Yes, that was a great engage by Alex. Catching out TCM being a little bit too aggressive. They overestimated their lead and tried to engage after killing Dragon instead of just backing off.
And they forced the Cho'Gath flash. They shouldn't be able to take this tower, but still, that's a lot of kills. It's not quite equalizing the gold, but it was going to get out of hand if they didn't get those kills. So
Yeah.
evening up the game. Well played by especially the Sejuani there.
Definitely. Great work, Alex. They did manage to get 1 kill out of it, but it was definitely not worth what they put into it.
Yeah, and Caitlyn's going to start to get... She almost has IE, and Callista's just barely scrapping along. So they should be able to siege mid tower. This is sort of what they wanted to do last game with Ziggs and Caitlyn. But since they actually have Morgana, they have the peel and the disengage that they need to be able to do something like this.
Yep.
You can't siege without
Very
disengage.
good point.
Like, it's great to have poke, but it doesn't matter if you're just going to get engaged on all day. But if you have
Right.
something like Cho'Gath with the silence, Aatrox for the front line, and most importantly Morgana with the black shield, you can set up these sieges.
very
They
good
can't
point.
go for it now because the big wave bot lane, but I'd expect to see it more in the future.
Okay, NannerBeans going hard on Cake Shop, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Almost having that Trinity Force with the Sheen and the Phage, getting closer to being a huge force. That is 1 point on Dank Gank Squad that is keeping them in this game. NannerBeans dominating the top lane. Pretty much the only lane that won in their early mid game.
Yeah, I think there's sort of the saving grace because even if Callista is behind, they have a different target that they can shield with Lulu and Janna, and that's Aurelia. And with
Yep.
Trinity Force almost coming through, she's got 600 gold, so she's not quite there yet, but it's almost there, and it's going to be a huge power spike. She can kill Shyvana 1v1, she can kill Cho'Gath 1v1, and then teamfight pressure is going to be even stronger with Janna Lulu.
Definitely, and that wild growth will probably work a lot better on NannerBeans than it will on Callista, depending on how deep
She can
TCM
get
decides
the
to dive.
back line. Yeah.
So that could actually work out for them.
So Runan's coming through on Callista. She's still behind almost exactly 1k, but Runan's pretty much what you need to get on Callista. She can still team fight okay, and she's sort of a late game security blanket, because even if Aurelia isn't able to make the plays, Callista's going to be able to still make use out of those shields.
Definitely. She is still down quite a bit in CS, though. We
Yeah,
see
and then
Cake
IE
Shop-
coming out on Caitlyn's going to be a big deal.
Yep, that is a huge power spike. And we could
But
see
Caitlyn
them...
looking pretty alone here. I don't know if they can dive on
This
her
is a
tower, though.
3v1 gank. Alex
Misses the Q.
forced to back off. Great job by Flandre, almost getting a kill in return.
Still, even with these great mechanical plays by TCM, they're not getting any objectives out of it. You see Lulu's still able to pressure mid tower. They only have one person bot, so they can't really force bot tower either. Even though they're able to make those great plays like that, they're not sieging mid tower like they maybe should be.
Yep. They definitely didn't punish that aggression and positioning of Dank Gank Squad like they could have.
Yeah,
But I
with
think
Sedge low right now, I think you sort of get the ability to siege mid, but they're just keeping Caitlyn bot lane, and that's not really doing anything for them. They're not making use of their early game advantage.
I think they were kind of backing and picking up some item power, so at least it allowed them to take a breath and do that.
Sure, but with bot, all they're doing is giving Kalista the farm she needs. They push it a little bit, let Kalista free farm, and then they sort of just repeat the cycle by sending Caitlyn bot again.
That is a great point.
I do like that they're pushing mid, though.
And now they are doing exactly what you wanted. They
It's a little
heard
harder
you.
without the Caitlyn, but...
Yeah, looks like Caitlyn...
They heard me
yeah.
from the future.
Yeah, and they heard you again, because here
I
Caitlyn
need to get a little
comes
quieter.
with her boots. Her new shiny boots.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need to do. Oh, Sejuani face checks,
wow,
runs
Alex
right into Cho'Gath.
Getting almost demolished. The disengage is too strong. Stoltmeister could get caught out. Do we see a binding? No. It is on cooldown. Oh, here is the binding.
Oh, well done.
ProFrog could go down too. Cake Shop slowed though.
But Aurelia with the Triforce and
NannerBeans
Mertreads comes in.
saying, "Get out of my house. This is my house." Alex almost
ProFrog,
going
though,
down.
He flashes. Oh, nice
And
rupture.
ProFrog is so deep, but Ramilia is saying, "Nope, you
Well
are
done.
done."
So they're able to take, looks like 3 kills off that, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least 2, and they get the mid
So,
tower.
that
They
was-
do lose bot tower for that. The question then, to make it in their advantage, is will they be able to get Dragon? And it looks like, yes, they will.
It's a very chaotic team fight with people spread out everywhere,
Wow, they back off. They're a little afraid.
and I'm not sure why they backed off there.
Yeah, maybe they want to push mid first to get the vision, and then they're going to do it. I feel like they're pretty safe. The Kalista, they had Kalista ult, but the Sejuani ult is down. And they know that they were in base at that time. If anything, they're giving them time to get to the dragon.
And it's easy to say that when we can see everyone on the map.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But,
but yeah, they push out mid, get the vision. They see Janna in mid, so they're able to take the dragon.
Oh,
Will
we have
they
Alex
contest it?
trying to maybe get a steal, but he
I
doesn't
think
have
they're able
his
to secure
flash,
this, yeah.
so he won't be able to get in and get out the way he needs to.
So that's 3 early dragons. That's actually pretty important. The third one is sort of when it starts to get a game impact, especially in rotations and team fighting.
Definitely. And it is still 2-0 Flygon on Twitch chat. But it's looking like this could be a turnaround in the series. We'll see.
Yeah, I think what's important to note is even when Dank Gank Squad lose these team fights or get picked off, they're able to make some type of trade for it. Like they take a tower, they get farm in a side lane. They took bot tower when they lost that team fight earlier, and they just took mid tower then when they were backing off of dragon. So I think it really shows their rotational objective game sense.
Definitely.
So good shot calling. Good shot
rotating while Cake Shop goes in. He wants to fight, and they do connect with him and take him down before backing off, even under turret. And
yeah, that's just the power of Janna and Lulu. If you try to dive the back line, you can't get there alone.
And looks
They
like
try to
they're
get to Kalista, but
going to get out scot-free. Not a death in sight for
yeah,
Dank Gank
Shyvana going
Squad.
a little bit too hard there. You need to hit a Mord binding first before you just try to dive into the back line.
It was a little bit hasty. I think he thought because he had the tower there that the advantage would be theirs. But Dank Gank Squad has Dank Ganks, and you got to be careful for those.
Dank.
Too dank.
Bot tower has a huge wave, but they're still forcing. They're trying to defend this top tower, and they do get Kalista low, so they might be able to protect it. Yep, they're backing off, and they're sending Morgana bot. I guess
Morgana getting that farm. We
pick up that farm.
She really wants her Zonias. Nice work by Dank Gank Squad. Just rotating again, super cleanly, like you said.
Yeah, sort of with this team comp, you're forced to be good at decision making to win. With Lulu, Janna, you're not really winning through team fights. You got to win through outnumbering, knowing where to be at the right time, and they're doing a pretty good job of that. Even despite losing some of these fights, they're almost equal in gold, just 1k behind. They actually have they're down in towers, but they're able to trade after every lost fight. So
that is
it's
a
not
good
over for
point.
them.
But we do have to be careful because TCM has 3 dragons already,
Yeah. Yep.
which could soon become 5 if Dank Gank Squad doesn't start to get Dragon control back.
Yeah, at a
And
certain point, if you lose a team fight, you just lose Baron, and then you lose an inhibitor. Like, you can't make trades at a certain point.
That could be a ticking time bomb for Dank Gank Squad.
So it looks like they're really prioritizing this top tower. Really should be able to just pick it up with autos.
A little bit deep, but it
Oh,
looks
they
like
engaged with the Morgul.
Morgana is the one who's caught out. She thought she was the ganker, but the Dank gankers are the true gankers. And NannerBeans caught out by a Rupture. Backs off.
And while this is happening, they have Midway pushing in. I guess
And
with Aatrox's bot lane, it just really shows how Dank has a superior understanding of minion control and objective focus.
they're just doing a great job. Like it's almost like they're toying with TCM because they'll get these picks and then just kind of chuckle and run away with their disengage. They don't really have to worry about retaliation. I think we're gonna need to see TCM have a good hard engage and just win a team fight, make a statement, and take
In
over
order to
this
do that,
game.
they need to be grouping. Like we saw earlier when they were grouping in mid lane, they were winning team fights. But like we saw there before,
Yep.
the more split they are, you can't really make use out of something like Caitlyn.
Yep, and ProFrog barely escapes mid, having to blow his flash. Good job by Glory. Pressuring that out, and we could see a binding land. ProFrog doesn't see Glory coming, and his flash is down. No binding. Good dodge.
Without Morgul, he's able to get out with that speed boost. Strange that they're prioritizing this area right now. Dragon's set up for
And
another.
we have
wow.
Aatrox super deep. I'm not sure what he's thinking. He could go
Yeah.
down here, and
They
his
decide to sacrifice him
his
for the
team
cause.
is not able to back him up. Shyvana was at base. They didn't really have much they could do about it, and now Dank Gank Squad wants more. They're hungry, and they are just pouncing. The disengaged comp is upping its game to engaging and doing a good job of it.
Yeah, with that pick on Yasuo, Diamond 1 Yasuo, they needed to just completely get out. But by staying in the area, they're
Yeah. They were a little slow getting out.
and because of that, they're able to immediately take control of the dragon area, knowing it's up in 38 seconds.
Ooh,
Oh,
cake
Shyvana
shot.
able to steal it away.
Snags the crab. He wanted the crabs.
I'm pretty sure Shyvana got that. Yep, Shyvana did get that.
Yep, cake shot.
So that is pretty important with 4th dragon on the table.
Yes,
20
and
seconds
especially with that being really the biggest strength they have right now in terms of their position as a team.
So the problem is they don't know where Dank Gank Squad is right now. So if they did, they could just rush the dragon right now. But since they don't have those deep wards to have that knowledge, they're gonna maybe spend a little bit more time, giving Dank Gank Squad the time they need to get there and contest it.
And we do see them warding out the jungle a bit, but they didn't have those ready to go early enough to start on the dragon right away, like you said.
And really, it does have teleport, so it's pretty
And
close to a binding
ProFrog
back.
getting chunked, but he does get out,
The
and
binding barely misses.
they
That
cannot.
should secure the dragon.
That
4th
secure the dragon. 4th dragon.
Wow, this is getting really close. They're a little bit behind in gold, but
This.
4 dragons.
Oh,
they
wow.
immediate engage.
Glory just going in, but does not get the stun off and pays for it with his life. And Alex also going down. 1-for-1 trade.
Yes, they get the Alex kill.
Fairly even there. Nice.
And without Sejuani ult and with both of them being pretty low, I think they can, if they wanted to, I feel like they could siege here.
They could, but I think they're gonna play it safe. Try to hold out till the next dragon, maybe. And
Yeah, that's not a bad call.
Go from
by any
there.
means, especially with Aurelia as big as she is.
they are behind on gold right now, so playing conservative is a good call. Stoltmeister just wrangling this vision control away from TCM.
Yeah, I don't know how to check wards placed. There's probably only a way to do it post game, but it seems
Yeah.
like Dank Gank Squad in all three of these games sort of have the words where they need it when they're making a objective call. So if they're trying to dive top, for example, they'll word the area around it. If they're about to do dragon.
And
So
that,
a lot
that
of objective
extra
focus.
edge is often. Oh wow, they're going in on
catch on
ProFrog, but Aatrox taking almost as much damage as ProFrog did.
They able to chase down Twist a little out of
Ranman,
position.
wow, Ranman is so deep right now. His team is nowhere near him, and they are paying
no.
dearly.
This is looking bad for Dank Gank Squad. They get the 2 kills there.
That must have been a miscommunication.
Oh, and the teleport for the flank.
And we could see another engage coming in. Cake Shop
Oh, the
gets
Giant
stunned.
disengage.
Great disengage.
They have enormous, massive waves in bot and top, though. I don't know if they're going to sacrifice it and try to get
And
this mid tower.
it looks like they are sacrificing the top lane push, at least.
Sedgelt is up. I think they can defend this tower with Jenna pretty easily. Yeah, they have
so
to back
they're
off.
not able to do a whole lot with that, but they are recovering that gold lead pretty significantly. It's really close now.
Yeah.
I
Without
have
a
to
team
wonder.
comp to be able to like immediately engage, it looks like they're having a harder time understanding how to position themselves. Like ProFrog's gotten caught, I think, twice now, and even though he had
Yeah.
Janna disengage and he had his own ult to save himself, he no longer had it for Ranman. So he makes those aggressive
Ranman
plays.
saw blood and wanted that Caitlyn so bad.
Oh,
he
a
just
bold Baron call.
ditched his team, and wow. But it's spotted out. Alex going low. I don't think they can keep fighting this.
I think this is a little desperate.
This is a questionable call, and Cake Shop is solo, but he is doing work, and they might just get out of this
up with it though.
with a pick.
Yeah, Aurelia goes in, but sort of baits his team.
And
Oh, binding.
are they
going to
be able to disengage? And the answer is yes.
They're thinking about Baron though. They know that Dank Gank Squad's really low,
And
and they decide to go for it.
they might have given up a Baron with that.
They're
They
underestimating
could- okay.
Aurelia though. She's still full HP. They sort of, yeah. If anything, take the Scuttle Crab and get out of there.
So that was just a well-executed Baron bait, I guess. And they caught out
It was
Cake
close.
Shop with it.
They almost got it. I mean, at this
Yep.
point, you sort of have to make those plays. 5th Dragon's going to be a little bit too much for them to handle. So
Yep.
I guess anything you can do to try to swing the favor.
That is very true. It could have turned out really badly for them. They must have known that they didn't have a huge amount of TCM members coming their way, or they probably wouldn't have done it. So both teams posturing around Dragon a bit.
Props to Ranman. If you look at the items and the CS, remember he was down, I don't know how much, maybe 30 farm at one point. He's completely equalized it. I think part of
Yeah.
that has to do with the fact that Ranman, whenever there's an opportunity, will push a wave in and split a wave. Whereas Caitlyn's been a little bit more grouped and hasn't been getting those massive waves top and bot. We saw Morgana get it twice. So that item
That is
did,
very true.
change. They both have upgraded boots and 2 completed items. So props to Ranman.
But I'm sure Morgana's happy to be nice and safe with her Zhonya's Hourglass.
Yeah,
But
that's fair. I mean,
what-
maybe that'll come into play more than one more item on Caitlyn. Who knows?
Whether that's a worthwhile trade is yet to be seen.
So 45 seconds till Dragon. Dank Gank Squad does have the Scuttle Crab. It's timing out pretty soon though. Ooh, a misclick by Stoltmeister, unfortunate. Or not Stoltmeister, sorry, Glory of Laurent uses the Zhonyas.
Ooh,
So I guess the whole point of getting those waves
Yeah.
is neutralize.
that could be, and with Dragon
yeah,
about to
I'm not gonna lie,
spawn,
that's pretty important for
that
Dragon.
could be an issue. It's over a quarter.
Ooh, Rupture. So those shields make it so that even with those 2 skills landing, they can't secure a kill off of it.
So Zhonya's almost halfway back. Wow, NannerBeans is just getting
Just
pounded.
taking those skills.
He really wants to stay in that bush, but that ward is allowing him to just get smashed by shot after shot. Oh, they finally figured out there was a ward there. And more harass going down.
Yeah, but with Callista, or sorry, with Janna and Lulu, they can't really turn that into a team fight. They could land like 3 more of those, and they'd probably still
And that
not
is
lose the
the
fight.
problem about them not having engage right now. They're just getting poked down.
Ooh, they landed on Aurelia.
And wow, here they go. They are
They used Lulu on
engaging
Aurelia.
all the way. And will Callista survive? And NannerBeans deep. NannerBeans goes down. Shyvana goes down. Both diving too deep for their team to do much about it.
Yeah, so far just a 1-for-1. Both top laners going down when they try to dive the back line. And without Aurelia, a lot of the damage they had is gone. So it looks like
We
pretty
have
good for TCM.
Aatrox going in deep. Ranman again.
Oh, Ranman.
On his own, just trying. Oh, wow. He's still alive, though.
Oh, and he gets
he's
the flash
getting a
Lulu
kill.
shield.
And the support might be enough to keep him alive. And oh my god!
Oh, wow.
They are
What an
turning it
incredible
around.
turn.
A 2v4 situation. And Ranman is like, fuck it. I am gonna kill you all. And I don't even need health.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Juggernaut before, that's an incredible example of what you can do with a really good AD carry when you have...
That
Oh,
was
close steal.
amazing by Ranman, using his range to just wear down the entire team. That Runon's doing mad AoE, rending so many people.
Yeah, normally plays like that is just stupid, but when you have Lulu to back you up, and if I'm not mistaken, Janna was able to shield him too, I could be wrong, but at least a flash shield by ProFrog, really impressive. And having a lot of faith in Randy there, and I think it shows.
Very true. And I'm gonna watch that again because that was spectacular.
Yeah, it was looking really good for TCM there.
I
don't blame him for that
he
fight at all.
actually, Ranman flashed on top of Caitlyn into the entire team by himself when his team was down in kills.
I mean, the CC was down. Aatrox didn't have the means of getting to him, and I think Cho'Gath was too far away to
That
land
is
up
very
shield, so.
true, and that just tells you his confidence in his ability and in his teammates to back him up there.
And without Dragon on the table, 5th Dragon isn't really a thing that we can look towards anytime soon, so... Well done by Dank Gank Squad. That was sort of a game-changing play.
That was, and Ranman just putting his team on his back right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with this team comp, is that it shows that you have faith in your AD carry and their ability to carry when you pick something like a low damage mid and Janna.
Very true, and they have to right now because he is the one putting out the damage.
Alright, 2 completely caught up in the top. That's just a dead Aatrox. He thought he was safe because he was so far away, but... Sejuani ult plus
I guess
the
I was a
dash
little
just
behind
helped
there, my
close
bad.
the gap. Caitlyn's just too far away. By being bot lane, she just completely concedes this Baron, and it looks like Dank Gank Squad turning the game around.
Okay, and there's not a whole lot CCM can do about
They
this.
need to get out of there like now, otherwise they start to get engaged.
This is a 3v5 situation. They could be baiting themselves into a really bad spot.
Oh, it looks like Shyvana might have DC'd there.
And that is really unfortunate for them. And we do have a pause coming out.
So it looks like there's an internet spike on Shyvana, as expected. The other team experienced it too, so I guess the call here is that they're gonna let Shyvana return to base.
We will spare her. That is the spirit. That's good. Good sportsmanship.
I mean, it makes sense because Shyvana wouldn't have contested after she knew Baron was down anyway.
Yeah.
You can see that her team is backing off, so it's not like they made a call to re-engage. So if it hadn't been a lag spike, she would have just been going to base anyway.
Oh wow! So we have the full disconnect. Yeah, it's definitely clear.
Although it
that...
looks like it might have been the Morgana that TC. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Huh, interesting.
And
Maybe they
she's
were
back.
making the call to turn it, but since Morgana wasn't there to shield her, who knows?
That could have been.
Regardless, Dank Gank Squad decides to let Shyvana live here. Showing mercy.
It's good to see. Good to see. Playing fair.
I mean, regardless, I don't know if it matters. That one kill on Shyvana wouldn't make a big difference. They
Right.
have the gold lead now, and with the
They
Juggermaw, the longer the game goes with the Lulu Janna,
Right.
the harder it is.
And they have
They
the
don't-
the Baron. They
It's
have
not
the
like they
dragon.
have yeah, and they don't have like incredible engage. TCM doesn't have incredible engage to lock down Callista. If they're lucky, they can land, let's say, a Morgana Q or a Rupture. But without that, there's not really any means of getting to the backline. Like, Morgana has to flash shield ult, but even then, Callista can just kite her backwards.
They will
So-
definitely need to land that first CC on Callista, and from there they can just chain stun her after that.
I
It's-
think the only possible chance here is getting that 5th dragon for TCM.
But Dank Gank Squad got a dragon, so I think that got nullified, right?
Yeah, but I
Oh,
still
okay.
think they can get 5th dragon after
Yeah,
4.
I suppose.
For the next one. Maybe I'm wrong,
They'll
but
they'll just have to hang on,
Yeah,
stall
they just
out
have
long
to-
enough.
this tower is not
Whoa,
going to
Ranman
Oh,
does
wow.
get that first CC landed on her,
Teleport in from Aurelia.
but it doesn't matter because there's so much to keep her alive.
They have to let this tower go.
There's no way they can fight this. It's a good rupture by Ramilia.
Yeah, I think the problem is, let's say Cho'Gath lands 6 ruptures on Aurelia. It doesn't matter with the shields they have, and since they can't turn it into a
Yep.
fight, it's looking pretty bad.
Yep, I think at this point they need a 5th dragon. They're gonna have to wait out this Baron and somehow win a team fight, and just
They'll slowly lose this bot tower. TCM will. They can hold it for a little while, but they should lose both mid and bot outers here.
they'll need a miracle, man. Some dank CC chains on
Luckily they
Ranman.
had luckily they had top pushing against their favorites, so they decide to, rather than sacrifice their top for getting bot top, they decide to not trade towers. I think they could have gone for that trade there, but I mean, they had Baron, so they could have made use of it, but it's not that bad of a call.
Yeah.
Any gold back in the other team's pockets, maybe it's not worth it.
And looks
Interesting
like we're
push here.
back to a push the other direction.
Yeah, they're fighting against Baron minions, so it's not like they're trying to siege a tower. Maybe they're just trying to counter-effect the push as long as they can to protect that tower.
Yep,
And they know
trying to
Dragon's
hold
up
that
in
pressure
50
off.
seconds.
They managed to snag blue buff, and Aatrox able to escape with the Morgana shield.
So since they pushed out bot there, they have a little bit more dragon control. If they had been pushed so far, then the minions would have given away their position.
And we could see an engage here. Alex
Yeah,
going
looks
in
like Sedge's
hard.
going in.
He managed to catch us up. Manages to catch out Cake Shop in the
Aatrox
middle of
going
his
in the
ultimate.
back line.
Wow, Aatrox so
He
deep.
should get dropped. The Q
And
lands
he
on
will
Aurelia. Will she be able to get
Quickly
dropped?
died. That is a 1-for-1. Again, the top laner is so deep. And here we go. Wow,
Wow, incredible
nice
damage from
silence
Cho'Gath.
by Cho'Gath
And the Q lands on
Ramilia.
ProFrog.
But can they take down Ranman? So far,
Battle of
no.
80 carries.
And Ranman is going ham. Gets the quadra kill and
Gets the penta kill.
penta, and
Oh
that
my
could
God.
be it.
If there's a way to end the game, it's with pentakill and the Juggernaut.
That is for sure, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say end the game,
They
but I guess
can.
it's starting to get out of control.
It is getting more and more and more in favor of Dank Gank Squad, but it's not over yet.
So the 5th dragon, the last hope for TCM, getting delayed and delayed because once again they're losing it to Dank Gank Squad.
Really,
Callista's getting impossible to kill. We saw Aatrox try to solo go in, but against Janna Lulu, you can't kill her on your own.
and time again we're seeing the top laners traded as kills early on.
Yeah.
Just about every team fight. So basically, TCM has to somehow pick off Ranman as quickly as possible, lock her down, and kill her. Sorry.
Yeah, the problem with Juggernaut is when they're grouped as 5, you can't pick any one person and kill them because
That
of
is
the
true.
shields. So one strategy you can do against Jiggermaw is to try to split them up. So maybe say have your top laner split push and force someone out. The problem with that is Aurelia is so big right now. I think she can 1v1 the Shyvana. And they both have teleport, so it's not like there's an advantage either way there. So even the 4v4 is in their favor, so it's looking like they're out of options here.
They will need a very strong team fight, perfectly executed, to turn this around.
Yeah, they need a catch more than a 5v5 team fight. I don't think they win 5v5 team fights anymore this game. Their only option is to try to pick someone out early on before Janna can get there, before Lulu can get there. And you can only really do that through vision, and it's hard against this really well-warding team.
And we could see an engage. Alex ulting, going in. NannerBeans jumping in. Cake Shop going in. Everybody is going ham. And Ranman is hammering away again. Could we see him? He gets dropped, though. Well, not Ranman, but everyone else. But he's still alive, and he's like, dude, you're never going to kill me, bro. But they do.
Well done.
Wow. Somehow they win a straight-up 5v5.
If they know that Baron, or at least they should know that Baron's up in another 27 seconds. They have 27-second recall or timers on their deaths, so they should be able to, if they're smart, take both mid tower and Baron here if they rush it. The only problem is NannerBeans does have teleport. They should know that. They might decide to try to go for an inhibitor instead.
And it looks like they just might. And
I don't know if they can secure it though. Looks like home guard boots on Sejuani. I think she can get there in time to stop it. Yep, they decided that it's too risky.
It's a good choice.
I kind of wish they would have gone for the Baron instead there, because one more tower, or I guess two more towers, isn't going to be the thing that changes the game.
That is very true. It was riskier though, so it could have played out either way.
So trying to get a little bit of Baron control here. Both teams need to get vision here. Top wave pushing pretty hard against Dank Gank Squad, so that might buy them some time to get some wards around Baron.
So how do you think they won that team fight?
They had an incredible kill frontline pressure. Cho'Gath hit Rupture. Caitlyn did a lot of good damage in the front line.
Okay.
Morgana, I guess most importantly, Morgana got both a really good snare in the beginning, and also she flash ulted on ProFrog and Stoltmeister and Ranman at the end.
That was a very well-timed ult. We see Alex getting engaged on NannerBeans, nowhere in sight. This is
They're forced to use the Lulu
5v4. And the Janna ult is down as well.
Yeah, with both those disengage ults down, it's harder to peel for the AD carry.
Also, the Sejuani ult is down.
Yeah, they're gonna try to siege this inhibitor.
So, and all they lost on TCM side was the Aatrox ultimate, which is not that hugely important.
Yeah,
overall.
If I'm TCM here, I would try to siege this by using Morgana ult to peel while they get the inhibitor, because otherwise they're gonna have a hard time not getting engaged on.
So NannerBeans diving in a little bit deep, and we see Aatrox going low.
They take
Sejuani going low, but
just barely gets out.
And the ignite does not finish Sejuani. That is a 1 for 0.
We didn't see the Morgana ult. That would have made the difference. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
And Glory could get dived on here. We could see a turnaround. Nope, they do not want to counter engage this. They are far too low.
Yeah, I think the critical point there is they didn't use the Morgul until they were running away in mid lane. If they had used it in the beginning,
very true.
She was trying to stay with Caitlyn to try to peel, but because of that, they didn't get any secured kills in the front line, and now they're able to take this Baron.
And he did have his flash down, so he wasn't able to set up good positioning for his ultimate, which could be a factor as well.
Oh wow, with them low and retreating, I'd like to see them push down mid really quickly or siege Baron really quickly.
It looks like we could see a TCM Baron coming in. Dank Gank Squad is backing off.
Dragon up in 25 seconds. That could be 5th Dragon if they time it right.
And Cake Shop snagging some more farm for himself.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to be able to put any good word down on Dragon, and Dank Gank Squad get there first. So, will they be able to stop the third Dragon? I don't think it looks like they're going for it. They might not even have the timer on, I'm not sure.
I think one factor to oh, okay, we do have Dank Gank Squad going straight for the Dragon.
They're not in position to stop it, it's gone. Since they're behind that wall,
we do have Aatrox going in. Everyone is going in, and they do not get the Dragon though. We'll see if they get the team fight, but it's not looking good for TCM right now.
They keep making the mistake of trying to dive the Callista. It never works. You can't do that against Juggermaw.
And that
what you need to do is fight the same people that your backline is fronting. So if Caitlyn and Cho'Gath are fighting the Sejuani,
just fight the front line.
Yeah, you stay in front of the Sejuani, you stay in front of everyone else. You're going to take the damage from the AD carry either way, but at least you buy them more time.
Yeah, and I think that is how they won the team fight that they won. And one factor I think right now that's coming into play is that TCM is stacking armor so much right now. You look at Aatrox, you look at Shyvana, Cho'Gath. Actually, Cho'Gath has no armor, which could be a problem.
He's usually been able to stay enough in the back. If he's dying, it's when the fight's already lost.
Yeah, he could maybe use a Zhonya's, though. We'll see if that's his next buy.
Yeah, that's true. Zhonya's might allow him to play a little bit more aggressively, but you're right, Armor is really smart against their team. The difference is, when they're diving, they are taking a lot of magic damage from Lulu.
That is true.
Because usually Lulu's peeling for Callista.
But it's going to be really hard for Callista to take down Aatrox without that Lulu also doing damage.
And the other point is, when you try to focus down the front line instead of diving Callista, it forces Lulu and Janna to use their shields and ults on the frontline target, say Sejuani or Aurelia, which isn't actually ideal for them, because then it's a lot easier to pick off the Callista.
Right.
You sort of try to bait away their ultimates that way and their shields. Otherwise, you just can't kill them. It's impossible.
The bait and switch.
And you see that Ranman has Guardian Angel, so if they keep going for him,
extremely
it's
difficult.
Be game over.
And they're going in on Aatrox. He's in a really bad spot, and they are just getting.
Oh, great rupture though!
Wow, hits 2 or 3 with the rupture, and it's.
Oh, but Callista gets on
so
Cho'Gath.
Much damage going out.
Oh, the rupture
all sides.
lands.
Ranman, the GA saving the day for Ranman.
Yeah, 2 down.
And this could be GG. Flandre not in a good spot. NannerBeans is not having it. No escapes. No survivors. And
with 50 seconds left, that's game.
That is how Dank Gank Squad has played this entire series. Taking command.
3-0 by Dank Gank Squad. Well played. Great map rotations. Great team fights. Great pick and ban phase. I think this is a well-earned victory. Well played.
Well played by both teams. Many of those games could have easily gone one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm really thankful that was a back-and-forth game. That was pretty close throughout the entire game.
Had a few tight fights turned out differently, it could have been a very, very different game.
Congratulations to Ranman for the mid-game pentakill. If you're going to get a pentakill, you're going to get it from a Juggernaut composition, but really well played there. That was great to see.
Also, great job by his team, doing what they needed to do to protect him and keep him hammering away.
Yeah, I really want to highlight that flash shield by ProFrog on Lulu to secure that team fight. If it wasn't for that, they would have lost both Dragon, 5th Dragon, and that team fight, so really game-changing play. Well done there.
And there we have it. Dank Gank Squad, champions of Spring 2015. Great work.
Yeah, undefeated except for 1 loss against this same team. They went 1-1 in the group stages, so impressive job. I think they win both Triumphant Rise and then RP, is that correct?
That is correct.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing those Triumphant Rise skins in the future. Well played, guys.
Great work. Also, we will be posting up videos online for those who weren't able to watch all of the series or any of it. So make sure to look out for those. Or if you want to research the amazing strategies of the Juggermaw.
So thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everyone.